Let's explore XML sitemaps. We will learn about building and submitting sitemaps to improve your website's search engine optimization. An XML sitemap is a file that lists all the important URLs of your website. It helps search engines understand the structure of your website, find all the pages that should be indexed, process your content efficiently, and identify how often your content is updated. Here is an example of an XML sitemap which shows how the tags are placed to represent URL, last modification date, change frequency, and priority. Let's discuss the essential elements of an XML sitemap. The log tag, which stands for location, is a required element. It specifies the URL of the page, which must be properly encoded and include the protocol such as HTTPS. The last mod tag is optional, and it indicates the date when the page was last modified in the format of year, month, and day. The changefrec tag is also optional, and it specifies how often the page is likely to change. It can have values such as always, hourly, daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, or never. And finally, the priority tag is an optional element to define the importance of the URL relative to the other URLs, ranging from 0.0 to 1.0. Here are some best practices for using XML sitemaps. First, include only canonical URLs in your sitemap. Canonical URLs are the preferred versions of your web pages. Second, use consistent URL formats throughout your website and sitemap. Third, update your sitemaps regularly to reflect any changes to your website. And finally, make sure you follow the proper XML formatting to make sure search engines can read it. There are also limits to consider. The maximum file size of a sitemap is 50 megabytes when uncompressed. Each sitemap can include a maximum of 50,000 URLs. You can use a maximum of 50,000 sitemaps in a sitemap index file. And always make sure to use UTF-8 as the file encoding. There are several ways to create sitemaps. You can use online generators like xmlsitemaps.com, especially for smaller websites. Content management systems like WordPress offer plugins, such as Yoast SEO and Rank Math. Other content management systems have built-in tools or extensions for creating sitemaps. For more advanced customization, you can create dynamic sitemaps using server-side scripts. Here is an example with PHP, in which a function is used to generate the XML sitemap code using page URLs and their last modified date. When your website is large, you can split your sitemap into multiple files. To manage these multiple files, you can use a sitemap index file. This helps manage large websites, and each subsitemap can contain up to 50,000 URLs, and the index can reference up to 50,000 sitemaps. This makes it easier to maintain, update, and organize content by type. Here is an example of an index file, which lists different sitemap files such as products, blogs, and categories. Once you have created your sitemap, it is time to submit it to search engines. You can submit your sitemap directly through Google Search Console and Bing Webmaster Tools. Another method is to add the sitemap location to your robots.txt file. Here is an example. You can add the line sitemap : then the full URL of the sitemap. It's important to verify your website ownership before submitting sitemaps to search engines, and allow several days for search engines to process your sitemap. Keep in mind that submitting a sitemap does not guarantee the indexing of all the URLs. Pages must still meet the search engine quality guidelines. It's important to have regular maintenance of your sitemaps. You should check the sitemap validity monthly, update it after significant content changes, monitor the indexing status in search consoles, and verify that all the URLs are accessible. You can use the Search Console reports to monitor the coverage, indexing status, and sitemap errors. There are also XML sitemap validators that you can use to check the sitemap format and structure validity. It is also important to track how search engines crawl your sitemap URLs using crawl stats monitoring. Remember that regular monitoring and maintenance are crucial for maintaining optimal search engine visibility. If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.